We are live. Fight day. Fight day. Fight day. Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. Let's go. Fight day between Saul Canelo Alvarez. 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 knockouts versus Terence Bud Crawford. 41, 0 losses. 41 no losses, undefeated, 31 knockouts. We are here. We are here. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm going to do it again. Today is fight day between Saul Canelo Alvarez. 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 knockouts versus Terence Bud Crawford. 41 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 31 knockouts. I'm going to do it one more time. Today is fight day between Saul Canelo Alvarez. 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 knockouts versus Terence Bud Crawford. 41 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws, 41 wins, 31 wins by knockout. It's fight day. It's fight day. It's fight day. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Canelo Alvarez is the super middleweight champion of the world. Canelo was a great fighter. He fought a lot of champions. He lost to the great Mayweather and he lost to Demetrius Bivol. He has a draw against Triple G and he has another draw against someone else that I don't know about. Okay. But we here. It's fight day. It is fight day. And I'm excited. How about y'all? Y'all, let's see who we got in here. That one dog, hi. That one dog, 41. That one dog, me too. Anti-crackheads. My dog died on the 9th at 7:17 p.m. Well, my condolences to you for losing your dog, anti-crackheads. But in this live is designed for the fight. Today is the super fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez, just like Sugar Ray Leonard did in 1987 versus the marvelous one, Marvin Hagler. You're welcome, anti-crackhead. Who do I think going to win the fight? I'm going to get to that. But I just want to give a little foundation before I get into that. I thank you for tuning in. I thank everybody for tuning in on this beautiful day, September the 13th, 2025. The sun is out. It's a beautiful day. I'm just excited for the fight, and I'm going to give my take on both guys, my opinion on both guys, and make sure if y'all don't stay in the live for whatever reason, I did do a prediction video. Go through my archives. I'm going to be giving my prediction in this live, but I did do a prediction video. Just go through my archives, okay? And make sure y'all check out my channel, and subscribe at your own preference. But all I ask is check me out, make your decision from there. But we're going to start with the champion. We got to get the champion his respect. We got Saul Canelo Alvarez, okay? Same age as me, 35 years young. Canelo started in the welterweight division, maybe the super welterweight division, and he was able to work his way all the way up to light heavyweight, okay? You don't know me. No disrespect to you don't know me, but this live is only about the fight. This live is not about any personal questions that you want to ask me. This is only for the fight, no disrespect. Okay. I want to thank Anti-Crackheads for subbing to my channel. Thank you. But let's stay focused. This live is for the fight today between Saul Canelo Alvarez is fighting Terence Crawford for the super middleweight championship of the world, which is 160 pounds. 168 pounds, my fault. I'm still trying to get settled into the live. I'm trying to smooth in. I'm still trying to get myself together. It takes me about 10, 15, 20 minutes to smooth in to the live. But again, the fight for tonight, which I call the super fight, is between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Saul Canelo Alvarez is 63, 2-2. Terence Crawford is 41, no losses, no draws. Canelo has 39 knockouts. Terence Crawford has 31 knockouts. Okay? So let's get into it. Back to Canelo. Canelo has won titles in multiple weight classes from super welterweight. I don't think he ever was a welterweight, super welterweight, all the way to light heavyweight. Okay? He fought guys like Laura. He fought Daniel Jacobs. Okay? He fought... Let me see who else has he fought. He fought Danny Jacobs. He's pretty much fought everybody that you could think of that was a, let me see, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I want to be respectful. Bella, why is your camera so oily? I am not sure why my camera is oily. I'm gonna see if I can wipe it off real quick. Let me see if I can wipe this thing off. Let me see. I don't know if it's better, but if it's not, we're just going to keep going. But I want to thank you for bringing that to my attention. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Who's that? Belia. You just took me back with the Beavis and Butthead avatar. That was one of my shows. That was one of my shows back in the day. I never watched King of the Hill. King of the Hill was a spinoff from Beavis and Butthead, but Beavis and Butthead Do America was definitely a classic. They went through all that, and the TV was in front of their door the whole time. In front of the door the whole time. But I digress. But my personal opinion of Canelo Alvarez is a very patient fighter. He's a very patient fighter, but his number one, I would say his number one weapon is he's a vicious counterpuncher. And that's what Terence Bud Crawford has to worry about. He has to worry about the viciousness, okay, of Canelo's counterpunching. Okay. A weakness of Canelo, which is a very, very serious weakness of Canelo Alvarez, is he doesn't like to get hit. It doesn't even have to be a hard punch. Okay? It can be a light punch. It can be a pity pat punch. Canelo does not like to get hit, and that's something that Bud Crawford can take advantage of in this fight. You don't even have to hit Canelo hard. Okay? You can just tap Canelo with light punches. In the Bivol fight, he got frustrated. In the Mayweather fight, he got frustrated. Okay? Excuse me. Canelo Alvarez does not like to get hit. That's his number one weakness. He does not like to get hit. Can he take a punch? Absolutely. Can he give a punch? Absolutely. Can he defend? Absolutely. Okay? But Canelo does not like to get hit. Okay? And how can Canelo beat Crawford? It's going to be difficult because Crawford is a very strategic and a very tactical fighter. He's a master adjuster. Canelo, he can adjust, okay? But I don't consider him a master adjuster. I consider him a patient fighter. I consider him a seek and destroy type of fighter that's very subtle, okay? That doesn't really waste punches unless he gets hit with something that probably rocks him or probably, gets his attention. Okay? But, okay, Canelo will have to be patient. His patience will pretty much be his weapon in this fight. His patience. Okay? So, and this is what he has to do. He has to be patient with Crawford. He has to work behind the jab. He has to, as Lennox Lewis would say, jab with the jabber. Okay? He has to jab with the jabber. And he has to be a step ahead of Crawford. I also believe that Canelo has a lot of wear and tear. He has a lot of wear and tear. And it remains to be seen whether that wear and tear will be a factor in the fight or not. Okay? It remains to be seen. Will Canelo, as Mayweather says, will Canelo get old overnight? Or will Canelo, or have Canelo been playing possum? Okay? Canelo pretty much did enough to beat Skull. Skull was a very, slick, moving type of fighter. And Canelo just played it safe. He didn't take no unnecessary chances with Skull. I like Skull. And that will not be the last. The fight between Canelo will not be the last time that I look at Skull. I actually like Skull. Skull stayed on the outside, and but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, and Canelo got the victory. I gave him a razor thin victory over Skull. A lot of people think that he won by unanimous or majority. In my personal opinion, I think that that's just wrong. Okay, but Canelo has to be patient. His weapon is his patience, and he has to pretty much he has to bully. He has to bully Crawford. Okay, he has to be the bully. He has to let Crawford know this is my ring. This is my division. I reign at the division of 168 pounds. The division of the Nigel Benns, the Chris Eubanks, the Michael Watsons. Okay? Canelo has to prove. He has to go in there and say, I'm the big dog. I'm the king of this ring. You moved up to my weight class. This my home. This my title. You know, Canelo has to have that mindset. You know, Canelo is a very humble fighter. You know, I consider him humble, confident. You know, like myself. You know, I'm humble for the most part until I'm attacked. When you attack me, that's when the arrogance comes out. Okay? So, you know, that's what Canelo has to do. He has to be the bully. He has to be the bully in there. And Canelo has to pick his shots. Canelo has to go to the body. You know, he has to work behind the jab, hook to the body, cross. These are the things that he has to do to win and beat Crawford. Am I a fan of Canelo? I've never been a fan of Canelo. But I respect Canelo. I respect his accomplishments. I'm not really a big fan of his style. You know, I'm not really a fan of his style. He works in that mid-range. Okay, he stays in that mid-range. He doesn't really stay to the outside. But one punch that he does have that I like, he took a page from Rocky Marciano's book. Rocky Marciano used to hit your arms. That way, as the rounds go on, and they fought 15 rounds back then. They fought 15 rounds. So he would hit your arms. So as the rounds go on, it's hard for you to hold your hands up. But Canelo has that one, and he hits your arms. You get what I'm saying? He hits your dominant arm. So this is my dominant arm. So Canelo comes in, and he comes and hits my arm. How am I able to throw my main thing if this is all sore? You get what I'm saying? That's the most intelligent punch that Canelo has, is that straight and that hook to the arm. You know, it's a method to that madness. You know, I believe that's his best punch. The jab and hook to the arm. Okay? I think Canelo has a chance to beat Terence Crawford. He has the weight advantage. He's used to walking around at 168. He's been at 168 for some time now. So I'm definitely not ruling him out. He definitely has a chance. Can he knock Crawford out? I think he can. I think that he has the power to knock Crawford out. And I say this because Crawford is new to the 168-pound division. His last fight was at 154 against Madrimov, who gave him a tough fight. He won by a razor-thin victory. And I think that Canelo can knock him out. Okay, if he catches Crawford with a clean counterpunch, he could put Crawford down. Okay? He can put him down. Crawford has not been hit by a 168 pounder. Canelo has. Canelo has more experience. Okay, as a 168-pound fighter. Okay, and I believe if Canelo wins this fight, that will be the deciding factor that he's accustomed to 168 pounds. Okay, now let's get to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's is coming off his decision win off of Madrimov. He became the 154-pound junior middleweight champion, also known as the super welterweight division, division as well. Before that, he fought the unified champion Errol Spence at 147 pounds, becoming the undisputed welterweight champion. And I believe that Terence Crawford, for the most part, was blackballed. I always knew who Terence Crawford was in a stealth way, okay? I always knew that, he was an up and coming fighter. But my personal opinion, I think he was blackballed because Terence Crawford wasn't the baby face, he wasn't the pretty boy, he wasn't marketable. Terence Crawford. He wasn't a Muhammad Ali, he wasn't a Sugar Ray Leonard, he wasn't a Ryan Garcia, he wasn't a Tank Davis. Terence Crawford, for the most part, in his early career, he was humble. He was humble, confident. If you didn't say anything about him, he didn't really say anything about you. You know? And couple fights, I seen him fight I started to pay attention to him. He fought Hank Lundy. He fought one of the Benavidez brothers. He beat Showtime Porter. He pretty much cleaned out the welterweight division. He fought David Avanation, who hits hard. I seen him up close and personal at my first boxing match ever. David Avanation versus Philadelphia native Jaron Boots Enos. Okay. And Terence Crawford, I've seen him fight. He's he's a master strategist, tactician. Okay. He's also a patient fighter as well. And he also exercises psychological warfare. In his fight against Madrimov hit him with 3 straight jabs and he stuck his tongue out at him. See, that's psychological warfare. Okay? But overall, Bud he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. And I believe that Bud was blackballed. Bud was pretty much put on the shelf for other fighters. He was put on the shelf for the Adrian Broners, the Sean Porters, Terence Crawford was pretty much underestimated. A lot of people thought he couldn't move up in weight. And what I didn't know was Terence Crawford, he started from lightweight. This is why, this is my thing. I believe that Terence Crawford is the new Sam Langford, who I believe is the original pound for pound. Okay? Sam Langford fought lightweight all the way up to heavyweight. Check out Sam Langford. Okay? He fought, like I said, he fought from lightweight all the way to heavyweight. And the comparison to Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford will fight anybody. I've never really seen Terence Crawford duck anybody. And that's my criticism for Canelo Alvarez. One of my criticisms of Canelo Alvarez is he didn't fight David Benavidez. David Benavidez is the man right now. He is that guy right now. David Benavidez. Outside of Terence Crawford, David Benavidez is that dude. And the fight never happened. As of right now, the fight never happened when I think it should have happened. Canelo Alvarez, my personal opinion, ducked David Benavidez. Okay? So that's my criticism. That's one of my another criticism of Canelo Alvarez. He ducked Benavidez. No matter how you slice it, the fight never happened. Okay? Terence Crawford doesn't duck anybody. He doesn't duck anybody. You put him in front of him, he gonna fight him. You know? Terence Crawford didn't complain. He took what they gave him. Much respect for Errol the Truth Spence. He didn't have to fight Bud, but because Bud had a title, he had the WBO title, and Spence had the other 3 titles, that fight had to happen. And I had Errol Spence winning by decision. But I was wrong because Terence Crawford wound up TKOing Errol the Truth Spence in impressive fashion. And from that point on, okay, I made a decision to never go against Terence Crawford. The Madrimov fight, this was his debut at 154 pounds. Okay, his debut. And you got to be realistic about Terence Crawford. The Terence Crawford at 147 was not going to be the Terence Crawford at 154. And the Terence Crawford at 154 is not going to be the same Terence Crawford at 168. Okay? So I look at it like, okay, let's see what he can do. For that being his first fight at 154 pounds, Terence Crawford did a great job. He didn't look bad. He didn't look sluggish. Okay? And he got the job done. I'm not saying it wasn't close. I'm not saying that Madrimov wasn't a tough customer. He was no slouch. Madrimov came to fight, just like Skull came to fight Alvarez. It's just that Skull stayed on the outside. He didn't really engage with Canelo the way he could have. Okay? But I respect Terence Crawford because he don't duck nobody. And he fights anybody. I never seen him duck nobody. Never. Okay? So much respect to Terence Crawford for never ducking nobody. Now, what can Terence Crawford do to beat Canelo? The number one thing that Terence Crawford has to do, use this. He has to use this. Okay? Another thing he has to do is he has to take his time. He has to fill Canelo out. Touching, just touch Canelo, touching. Don't even try to throw nothing heavy. He just touching. Touch him up here, touch him down here. Okay, just fill him out. I would recommend that Terence Crawford maybe take the first 2 to 3 rounds just to see what Canelo brings to the table. Okay, don't even try to win the first 3 rounds. Just see what Canelo has to offer. And I would say just adjust as you go. Adjust as you go. Be that strategist, be that tactician, and hit Canelo. Focus on hitting him clean because he does not like to get hit. And like I said earlier, it don't even have to be hard punches. That's the crazy part. I could see if it was hard punches. He does not like to get hit. And he has to also apply that psychological warfare that he applied with Madrimov. Okay. So I want to know, who y'all got for the fight? Who y'all got for the fight? Who y'all got? Y'all got Canelo, or do y'all got Bud Crawford? Who y'all got for the fight? You know, I want to thank the two people who like the two people that hit the thumbs up for this live stream. Okay, we don't really have nobody in here, but it's cool. Hey man, I'm having fun by myself. I appreciate everybody that coming alive, whether it's 2 people, whether it's 2,000 people. Hey man, I'm excited to do the live. But that's what Crawford has to do. Crawford has to continuously adjust. I wouldn't recommend Crawford going toe to toe or putting himself in any unnecessary positions to get hit, because we don't know if we don't know if Bud Crawford has a chin at 168 until he gets hit. I would recommend don't even put yourself in a position, because this is your debut at 168. This is your first day at 168. So don't put yourself in that position. You know, like I said, just touching with the jab, touching, see what he respond to. It's gonna have to be a chess game, just like my chess book, The Art of Attack. You gotta set traps for Canelo. Canelo's gonna try to set traps for you. So Crawford just has to be the chess master in there. He has to be the chess master. He has to be the grand master. He has to be the international master. He has to be the master's master in this fight. And my only concern about Bud Crawford is him not being used to being at 168. You can train at 168. You can spar at 168. But until you've competed at 168, you don't know. We don't know if this is going to be a good thing for Bud. We don't know if this is going to be a bad thing for Bud. But this is his most comfortable weight. This is a weight that's close to his walking around weight. Okay? And he was chiseled. He didn't look bloated. He didn't look like he forced the weight on. He just pretty much he looked it good to be moving up 2 weight classes. He looked it good. So like I said, my only concern is that excuse me. My only concern for Bud is that he's not used to fighting at that weight. That's my only concern. And we will have to see if it's going to be a factor. Is it going to benefit him, or if it's not going to benefit him? We also got to think about the overnight weight that he might gain. Will that help him? Will that hurt him? That's what we have to look into, as far as whether it's going to be a factor or not. We have to take everything into consideration when it comes to Bud moving up 2 weight classes. Okay, we have to take everything in consideration: his speed, his mobility, his punching power. Okay, will he be able to take body punches? Will he be able to take head punches? You will never know until you know. So that's my biggest concern for Bud. Will I be surprised if Bud beat Nello? No. Because Bud, like I said, he's the Sam Langford of this time. He's the Sam Langford of this time. You know? He is the Sam Langford of this time. He'll fight anybody. So I think that if Crawford get hit clean, that's going to show, and that's going to be the deciding factor, okay, in how the fight goes. If Canelo can hit Crawford clean, and Crawford can take it, then we got to fight. If Canelo hits Crawford and he hurts him right away, or he buckles him, I'm going to be looking at the legs. I'm going to be looking for steel legs. I'm going to be looking for sturdy legs. And I'm going to be looking for Bambi legs. Okay? I'm going to be looking for all those things when it comes to Crawford's legs when he gets hit. Okay? I'm also going to be looking at Canelo. It goes both ways. Where I'm going to be looking for steel legs for Canelo. I'm going to be looking for sturdy legs for Canelo. And I'm going to be looking for Bambi legs. You know? One of the things that I do as I go throughout my day, I'm always stretching my legs out. I'm always, as I go throughout the day, I'm always stretching my legs out. I'm always stretching my legs out. You know, I'm always stretching my legs out. You know, because you know, I'm always stretching my legs out because your legs is what keep you up. Your legs is your foundation. So anytime that I watch a fight, when a person gets hit with a good shot, I look at the legs. As the fight goes on, I look at the legs. And there's a quote from my favorite warrior pertaining to women from Genghis Khan. And it's, a woman must have strong legs to keep a man happy. Strong man, strong legs, happy man. And it's so profound, even though it's geared toward women. Your legs is your foundation. Your legs is what keep you up. Like I said, your ability to stand or not stand is determined off of your legs. Okay? So I encourage everybody, take care of your legs. Keep your legs strong. Keep your legs loose. Okay? And keep a nice foundation. And now for the moment that we all been waiting for. The moment we all been waiting for. Who do I choose to win this fight and why? Now, for those who already saw or already watched my video that I did on my prediction, you already know. But for those who haven't watched my prediction video, my prediction is Terence Bud Crawford will become the super middleweight champion at 168, becoming yet another boxer to be a part of history. He will be able to be next to the boxers of history that did the impossible. The Bernard Hopkins, the George Foremans, the Roberto Durans, the Sam Langfords, the Sugar Ray Leonards. Okay? He will be able to retire after this. Because Bud Crawford is no spring chicken. Bud Crawford is pushing 40 years young. So, in my prediction, and I'm saying this now, when Bud Crawford defeat Canelo by decision, and he may get a knockdown, I would be surprised if he knocks Canelo out. I would be surprised if the referee stop it. But I won't be surprised if he knocks Canelo down a couple times because Canelo is Mexican. I could see Canelo get knocked down a couple times. I don't see Canelo get knocked out. I would be surprised. I could see him getting hurt and then, going out on his shield. And see, like I said, that's what makes Canelo dangerous. He is a vicious counterpuncher. He is a vicious counterpuncher. So I believe that Bud is going to get it done by unanimous decision, majority decision. I don't see it being close. Okay? Canelo may get tired. Bud might come back. Like I said, he's technical. Bud not only can he hit you, he knows what to hit you with at the right time, at the right place. Okay? And I think because I can't really go by how he looked, I can't go by his aesthetics alone. I have to go by his legs in the ring, his movement in the ring. Okay? And just like Showbiz said, shout out to Showbiz, make sure y'all check him out. Just like Showbiz said, he's comfortable being a villain, and see, he's a humble villain, he's a humble villain, he's the type of guy that he'll give you that respect, but at the same time, he coming for you, great, he'll give you your props, he'll give you respect, but don't make no mistake about it, he coming for you. Terence Crawford's aura is a strong aura, a confident aura, a humble aura. Canelo's aura, focused. Another day at the office for Canelo. Another day at the office. So, that's my prediction. Yeah, that's my prediction. I believe that Terence Crawford will win by unanimous decision or majority decision. I don't think that he can knock Canelo out. I could be wrong. I could be right. But we're gonna find out tonight. We're gonna find out tonight on whether Canelo will get it done or whether Terence Crawford will get it done. This is a super fight. This is a super fight. The last super fight, like I said earlier, was the Marvelous One versus Sugar Ray Leonard. And go through my archives. I did my own personal scorecard on that fight from 1987. Leonard put on He put on a masterclass, man. Leonard landed the harder punches, the cleaner punches, the clearer punches. And he had the advantage. He had a bigger ring. He was able to use that ring. He threw punches in bunches and got out of there. The last couple seconds of every round, he let his hands go. That's a mental thing for the judges. You know, Hagler could have been winning that round, but the judges remember those last couple of seconds where he just let his hands go, and that was genius of Sugar Ray Leonard in that particular fight. And Angelo Dundee told him, stick the jab, stick the jab, stick the jab, and he listened. So Canelo is more. He doesn't really have a lot of footwork, my opinion. I'm not really a fan of his style. I am not a fan of his style like that. I am not a fan of Canelo's style. I'm more of fans. I'm more of a fan of boxers that have a more tactical, strategic style. They adjust as they go. They take their time. They're patient. That's one thing I do like about Canelo is that he's patient. I like, the Rocky Marciano, punch that he has. And that's pretty much what I like about Canelo, but who's the better fighter? Terence Crawford, without a doubt, is the better fighter. He's the better fighter, hands down. He's more technical, he's more strategic. You know, he's psychologically, sharp when it comes to fighting. Um, he's undefeated for a reason. And I can say. This is one thing I can say about Terence Crawford. He earned he has a real undefeated record. Love Floyd Mayweather, one of my top three, but Floyd chose certain fighters. Once he became the A side, he was able to cherry pick his fighters. And he deserved it. He fought to get to that position. And see, Bud Crawford could have did a cheesy title defense of the 154-pound title. He could have retired. He could have fought Errol Spence again. Errol Spence been out the ring for some time. He could have got that rematch with Errol Spence and probably would have beat him again. You get what I'm saying? But he chose the dare to be great. That's what he chose to do. He chose the dare to be great. I respect him for that. I respect him. He dared to be great to fight Canelo. And regardless of the outcome, I have nothing but respect for Terence Crawford. Because just like Sam Langford, he fought anybody. He don't care he don't care what weight class. He was willing to go. He is willing. He chose to go up 2 weight classes. No tune-ups. No smoothing in to the weight class. He chose to go up 2 weight classes to fight the top dude. Not a contender, not a tune-up, the champion. He's going for the champion. And I ain't got nothing but respect for him. And I respect Canelo for taking it. Canelo could have said no. Canelo could have took the Benavidez fight. And I believe that Canelo, I believe that whoever wins this fight, unless the boxing business is completely stupid or dumb, whoever wins this fight is going to fight Benavidez. Benavidez is the spook right now. Benavidez is the boogeyman of boxing. Benavidez is that nightmare on Elm Street. right now. He is the Nightmare on Elm Street. He is that Jason. He is the Michael Myers. Okay? He is the Chucky of boxing right now. He's that Nightmare on Elm Street. So this fight is going to set up the Benavidez fight. I believe that very strongly. And I'm going to talk about Benavidez very briefly. Benavidez is just a magnificent fighter. I mean, this guy can pretty much do it all. He's that guy right now. He's the diamond stud of boxing. He's the diamond stud of boxing right now. Terence Crawford is pretty much on his way out. And like I said earlier, because he was blackballed, he didn't get his real recognition until he fought Errol Spence. He didn't start to get his recognition until then. But I'm excited. I'm excited. I feel good. You know, this particular live stream, I'm more relaxed. You know, we didn't have a lot of people in here like my last one, but it's okay. Every live stream is going to be better than the previous one. I got 2 likes. Nobody's in here now, but it's okay. Every live stream is different. Every live stream is going to be better than the last live stream. I'm comfortable. I'm at peace in this live stream. Versus my very first live stream on Juneteenth. I'm feeling good. You know, um, it's a beautiful Saturday. You know, Legends of the Fall. We're coming into the fall season. The Legends of the Fall. You know, we're in it, man. You know, and I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for this fight. I will be definitely doing a conclusion video tomorrow on the results. You know, boxing needed this fight. This is a fight that boxing needed, and let this be a lesson to fighters out there. Fight the best, fight the best, and the fight is going to be beautiful. I believe it's going to be a beautiful fight because you got 2 guys in there that are willing to lay it all on the line. The 2 losses that Canelo got on his record were by 2 great fighters. So losing is winning. When you dare to be great, you never lose. But when you're afraid to be great, you always lose. I'm not afraid to lose. I don't like to lose, but I'm not afraid to lose. And every loss will be turned into a win. So I'm always undefeated because when I lose, I win because I learn. And I take the loss and I flip it to a win. Okay? And I would rather be a fighter with losses because that's how you become better. Mayweather, and I take my hat off to Mayweather. And this is my criticism, another criticism of Mayweather before I get out of here. If it's one fight that Mayweather lost, it's a B right there. If it was one fight that I think that Mayweather lost, it was his first fight against Castillo. It was a very close fight. They gave it to Mayweather, and I respect Mayweather for fighting him again. I respect Mayweather for fighting him again. That's pretty much Mayweather's only loss, Castillo. And I'm thinking about doing a scorecard just to see if I really think Castillo lost or one. So don't quote me on that just yet. I'm actually there's a 90 to 95% chance that I'm going to do a video of that particular scorecard between Mayweather and Castillo one. You know, because I looked at highlights, but you have to actually look at the fight, and I'm not afraid to admit that I looked at the highlights. So I take that back. I take that back. A lot of people said that he lost that fight. So there's a 90 to 95% chance that I'm going to do a scorecard video on that particular fight just to be 100% sure and know who I think won or who I thought lost. Okay? But I respect Mayweather, but like I said, he cherry picked his opponent. He fought Mayweather. He fought Mayweather. He fought Pacquiao after he lost. And he got knocked out. Pacquiao got knocked out. So that did a lot of mental to Pacquiao. But he still beat Pacquiao. He's still my number 3 favorite fighter. So much respect to Floyd, much respect to Pacquiao. I hope Pacquiao fight Barrios again. Pacquiao looked it good. He looked it good. And we're talking about based off of the circumstances. This man been retired. So he looked it good. He looked it good. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see what the future holds for Pacquiao. Um, Never been a fan of Pacquiao, but I respect him because I always liked the Mayweather, and I believe that Pacquiao was in Mayweather's shadow. And I knew they was going to fight when I was in high school. I was saying they was going to fight in high school. So, you know, we I knew that fight was going to happen. And I knew that Mayweather was going to be smart. The same way I believe that Terence Crawford is going to be smart tonight. But Crawford he cannot take any unnecessary risks because this is his first day. This is his first day at super middleweight. This is his debut at super middleweight. So Crawford has to be careful. He has to be strategic. He has to be tactical. He has to pick his shots wisely. He has to neutralize Canelo. Go to the body, you know. Make the deposit now. Make the investment of the body now. You make the investment now, you get the return later. And that's he has to go to the body. And for Canelo, Canelo can go to the body. Okay? So it goes both ways, man. It definitely goes both ways. So, and I firmly believe that Canelo was going to get it done. What am I talking about? My fault, man. I'm trying to get out of here. I firmly believe that Canelo is not going to get it done. That Terence Crawford is going to get it done. Okay, will I be surprised if Canelo win? No. And I gave everything in this live stream of what each fighter can do to win. I gave their strengths. I gave their weaknesses. I didn't give Crawford's weaknesses. Crawford, he takes unnecessary risks sometimes. Crawford can get caught up in the moment, but he has to stay tunnel vision. He has to stay tunnel vision, and I believe that's the only way he beat Canelo. He can't get caught up in the moment. He has to stick to adjusting. He has to stick to neutralizing. Okay? and he'll win. He'll win. You know. Thank everybody for tuning in to this live stream. Let me know in the comments section who y'all got for tonight. Y'all got Canelo. Y'all got Crawford. Do y'all got the winner by knockout? Do y'all got the winner by decision? Do you have it a draw? Let me know in the conversation. Let me know in the conversation. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. I want to thank everybody that that came into this live, whether it was for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 20 minutes. I want to thank the One Dog Anti Crackheads. I want to thank Y. I want to thank Belly Eye. I want to thank the two people that gave this live a thumbs up. And we out of here. We out of here. We out of here. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Keep it safe. Keep it responsible. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun.